1. What is assurance engagement? Page 3. An assurance engagement is one in which a practitioner expresses a conclusion, designed to enhance the degree of confidence of the intended users, other than the responsible party, about the outcome of the evaluation or measurement of a subject matter against criteria. Q2. What are the key elements of an assurance engagement? Page 3. ANS. The key elements of an assurance engagement are as follows. I. 3 people or groups of people involved. The practitioner, for example, the audit firm. B. The intended users, for example, the shareholders. C. The responsible party. 4. Example, the board of directors. E. A subject matter. Data, for example, financial statements or business projections. B. Systems or processes, for example, internal control system or computer systems. C. Behavior, for example, corporate governance. E. Suitable criteria. Law and accounting standards. B. Code of practice, code on corporate governance. C. ISAs, IFRSs. IV. Sufficient appropriate evidence to support the assurance opinion. The practitioner must obtain evidence so that the criteria have been met. V. A written report in appropriate form. Lastly, it is required that assurance reports are provided to the intended users in a written form and contain certain specified information. Q3. You are an accountant who has been approached by Jamal, who wants to invest in company X. He has asked you for assurance whether the most recent financial statements of company X are a reliable basis for him to make his investment decision. Page 4. Identify the key elements of an assurance engagement in this scenario, if you accepted the engagement. ANS. The key elements of an assurance engagement are as follows. I. 3 people or groups of people involved. The practitioner. U. B. The intended users. Jamal. C. The responsible party. The directors of company X. E. A subject matter. Data, for example, most recent financial statements of company X. E. Suitable criteria. Law and accounting standards. B. Code of practice, code on corporate governance. C. ISAs, IFRSs. IV. Sufficient appropriate evidence to support the assurance opinion. Inspect the books and documents of company X. V. A written report in appropriate form. Opinion on the financial statements of company X. Q4. What types of assurance engagement as per framework? Page 4. ANS. The framework identifies 2 types of assurance engagement. Reasonable assurance engagement. B. Limited assurance engagement. Q5. What do you mean by reasonable assurance and limited assurance? Page 5. Reasonable assurance. A high level of assurance but not absolute level of assurance. Limited assurance. In a limited assurance engagement, the practitioner gathers sufficient appropriate evidence, but the quality of evidence gathered would be lower as compared to reasonable assurance and gives a report in the form of a negative assurance. Q6. How the level of assurance varies. Page 5. Type of agreement evidence required opinion, conclusion given. Reasonable assurance sufficient and appropriate positive limited assurance sufficient and appropriate, lower level, negative. Q7. What are key differences between 2 types of assurance? Engagement. Page 5. ANDS. The key differences between two types of assurance engagement are underscore the level of evidence obtained underscore the type of opinion given. Q8. Give few examples of assurance engagements. Page 6. ANDS. The key example of an assurance engagement in Bangladesh is a statutory audit, external audit. Other examples of assurance engagements include other audit. For example, 1. Insurance company audits. 2. Bank audits. 3. Branch audit. 4. Charity audits. 5. Environmental audits. 6. Local authority audits. 7. Pension scheme audits. 8. Solicitors audits. There are also many issues users want assurance on. 1. Internal audit. 2. Internal control reports. 3. Circulation reports. 4. Cost, benefit reports. 5. Inventories and receivable reports. 6. Reports on business plans or projections. 7. Reports on website security, such as web trust. 8. Review of specialist business activities. 9. Value for money studies. 10. Due diligence. 11. Fraud investigations. Q9. Why is assurance important? Page 6. ANDS. The key benefit of assurance is the independent, professional verification being given to the users on the subject matter. In addition, assurance may have subsidiary benefits such as 1. Users may also benefit from additional confidence in the subject matter given to others. 2. The existence of an assurance service may prevent errors or frauds occurring in the first. 3. It helps to ensure that high quality, reliable information exists, leading to effective markets that investors have faith in and trust. 4. It enhances the credibility of information. Q10. Why can assurance never be absolute? Page -7. ANDS. Assurance can never be absolute. Assurance providers will never give a certification of absolute correctness due to the limitations. Q11. What are the limitations of an assurance services? Page -7. ANDS. The limitations of assurance service include 1. The fact that testing is used. The auditors do not oversee the process of building the financial statements from start to finish. 2. The fact that the accounting systems have inherent limitations. 3. The fact that most audit evidence is persuasive rather than conclusive. 4. The fact that assurance providers would not test